Where's the Excel? Can you see my desktop? Jeff?
Hold on.
I didn't realize that was you. Okay, we're just gonna do it the old fashioned way. I don't know how to find a document. I'm gonna need some practice. Veronica, this is.
It is,
Right.
and you are the chair tonight, so.
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and get started then. We are live on YouTube. So there will be that little bit of a delay for those that join us via YouTube.
Okay. Do we have any outside parties that have joined? You know?
I will look. No, so far just me.
Okay. Well, let's get started. So the purpose for this meeting is to review the board's action items.
Before you get going, let's we're gonna go ahead and call it to order.
Check. Thank you.
5:02.
Sorry, I don't have an agenda in front of me.
I will call the roll with Director Cherry. Here. Director Durant. And Director Corbett. And Director Orange is not. Okay, and number 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
And to the republic for which it stands, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Flag. Okay, number 3. Madam Chair, you're going to call for an approval of the agenda.
All for approval of the agenda. Need a motion?
Make a motion that we approve last night's agenda.
Let's see, is this meeting or last meeting?
This
Meeting's agenda, which is to review this document.
I make a motion to approve the agenda at hand this meeting.
Thank you.
And I second.
All in favor? Aye. Unanimous? What's next?
You are on now on public comment. If the public is, so there is public here, if there's public has comment.
And they can comment on anything because
In this meeting, because it's a special meeting, they can only comment on the item that is on the agenda.
okay, awesome, thank you. Veronica, since you're our only, any comments? Yeah, no worries, no worries.
So then the other, I have not received anything via email, nor have I received anything on the YouTube Live yet. So I will receive comments during the, somebody posts.
Okay, let us know. So can we get started on? All right. So I know we've talked about this a little bit. The idea behind having a board action plan is so that we know what the district is working on and which board member is the go-to person, the point of contact for each item. So I drafted this document. It is completely fluid. If you want to see it a different way, just let me know. This doesn't take me long to do this. I'm pretty familiar with doing it. The first 11 items are the FEMA projects. These are things that we filed monies for FEMA. FEMA and Cal OES with Kevin are going to basically pretty much direct what documents are needed to get these projects moving and going forward. So they pretty much drive that. The next line items are the busy work for the operational needs of the district. So with that, any questions right now? Okay, our primary goal with this document is to make sure that we, for the column assigned to, that we put board member names in each one of those boxes. And that way we'll know who's working on what. And I want to put 2 names in there because if Bob's not here, I can do it, or you can do it, or you can do it, you know, it will have that alternate. And then those 2 people will probably be the ones that attend the meetings with Don or Kevin or, you know, Jeff and Tosh and whoever else needs to be associated with that. So with that said, we'll start with the first topic, which is the FEMA project 552391, which is the lift station short-term repairs. We talked about this at our last board meeting. We made a motion to move forward with making that sewer system operational for the city. We've kind of moved this up to #1 priority because that's kind of been the advice that we've gotten is we've got to get the sewer system going. The action item is we need Dean and Dawn to provide the detailed specs, material list, and labor costs. There's a lot more things that are going on with this. I've been to about 3 different meetings on this short-term repair to the sewer plant. But basically what we're doing is we're abandoning lift station 1. We're going to put new controls on lift station 2. We're going to get 2 chopper pumps for lift station 3 and make lift station 3 the main one, which means in FEMA world that we're going to have to call that kind of a project improvement kind of thing. And we've been in conversation with them about that. Yeah. So Bob and I have been involved in it. So that's why our names are on there, unless you guys have a burning desire to be a part of that.
So did you give Dean and Dawn deadline or when you need to?
Well, because Dawn had surgery, no, but I will. You know, there will be deadlines on these things.
What's the deadline?
Right, exactly. And I don't know that yet. But those are things that we want, there's a date, you know, a due date type of thing that
should be assigned to everybody.
it should be assigned to every project. Yeah. I didn't want to get too specific. I'm glad you said that instead of me, because I don't want to feel like I'm running the show. But yeah, everything like that should have it.
You would request yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we should have budget available money using so that we still.
Okay, so there's a cost, in column B, there's a cost.
Overall, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, what do you want?
Depending on what's got to be fixed and material needed.
The ones for the 7,000, 3,000, and 12, 14,000, those are ballpark guesstimates. Yeah. So this is gonna, exactly, and that's why the action item is Dean and Dawn need to provide some specific stuff, you know, cost, dates, all that stuff. So that's kind of what we're waiting on that project. Okay, so moving on, is it on the next one? Okay, and we started talking about this.
I'm sorry.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought, because there's another one in the non-FEMA thing that I was gonna ask you to get on. I've already put your name on it because it's the bigger one.
And so I'm gonna hold you a little bit right there. So you've got Bob and Chrissy listed as being assigned to the topic of lift stations,
For the
right?
short-term repair,
Okay.
right?
And then at the end, we'll probably go through and you can motion so that you can approve the assignments. I'm guessing you probably just do them all.
Do them all at once, yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, so now the next 3 tie together. This is the water treatment, the water supply line, and the water supply line to the cemetery. Those 3 really are gonna be the same people in the same meetings. And you're gonna be talking about all three of those things. And there's 3 action items on here. For the water treatment plant, the action items are to make sure that we itemize the damage for FEMA, right? And that probably should have said that, but anyway, these came off the FEMA questions.
And they're asking for us to have they.
No, they're asking for us to do it. That's what Kevin's doing with Dawn. So if Kevin, OES guy,
I thought we had all this stuff already.
Yeah. I think we did.
I don't,
You have, did we have, you got a idea?
That we've seen. So we've seen the damage inventory for the firehouse, and then of course the damage inventory for the meter. But any other damage inventory we have not seen.
Is it somewhere?
It should be. We've been told it. I've not seen it.
that's why we need board oversight.
To go and get that documentation from Dawn.
Yeah, that's what
It was from Don, it wasn't from.
Kevin sent me a couple of spreadsheets.
Dawn, where I guess working on it, I've not seen it.
So this, I think we need that up here. Oh,
Well,
Just to, file it.
yeah. We get all these
Central point.
Yeah, we all.
yeah, I mean, but Dawn's not the one, this is the board's task. So if you and Susan are taking these 3 projects, then you guys would, Dawn, have you got this? Get at the top. And that way you'll know that it's been accomplished because
We have company shares, so if it gets put in company share, we can go retrieve it from where it's stored, so.
I guess.
But
I should do a hold of Ted's files on all these and start reading.
Can you get it?
Files, I don't see a damage inventory list in there. We've got all the files figure out what he's done. He's talking to it. Dawn is the one who's talking to me about that.
And I'll talk to Dawn, too. I want to take it.
I can talk to
and Kevin's, because Kevin's been doing a lot of the document legwork for Dawn.
Then if you want to, Susan, we can set you up on this computer back here. You can go through all of those files.
Oh, we're gonna have to do it.
Perfect. So I'm gonna put you and Roger on the water treatment plant. That's a big one.
You can put us both on the raw water line.
The raw water line, the 1,000 feet of raw water line for the reservoir and the replacement ends at the meter box. And these are the FEMA projects. These aren't our wish list.
What was that?
Okay, so these are the FEMA projects. This is replacing like for like by FEMA. And if it moves into where we can change the pole system to the rapid sand filtration system and get FEMA dollars, call that a project improvement or, whatever through FEMA, you're gonna have meetings with FEMA and Dawn and Kevin so nothing's really resolved. And Dean, yep, he'll be involved in all of that.
Yeah.
So, but those will be some meetings that you'll have those discussions with. Okay, and that's why I said that 558, 117, and 114 tie together. Okay, so you guys get all 3. Moving on. All right. The next one is the fire station and equipment. So I just got a report today from Bob that we did get approval for $1.3 million. Yeah, it was approved by the insurance adjuster. He's coming in tomorrow on something. Right. There's 3 action items in here. One is to submit the completed inventory list to FEMA. There was just like one thing that was hanging that up. And it's almost done. Bob's going to contact the county administrator over there because we met with who the hell was it? Select Environmental. And they said that if we can combine a location with the county and that it'd be smoother and that there was some preliminary work done by Ted that was good with the county. So Bob's going to follow up on that. And then he also said tonight that he wants to conduct a pre-construction meeting with Chris Myers, the engineer from Susanville, and some other stakeholders on moving forward with getting that building in there, started.
We have to put that on to contract.
And that's, you're on this task, force, so you get to tell him that. Yep. Mhm. Yep. And I'm, so, yep, so you'll be able to, when you conduct, start setting up meetings, start setting up other task lists, you'll do that, absolutely. Okay, moving on. Streetlights, that just got completed yesterday. We found out that the Caltrans owns the decorative ones, Plumas County owns the other ones. Tosh requested it be removed as a FEMA project yesterday. Yep, so that's a completed item. Okay. Damage to the hydrants and meters. We don't have anybody assigned to this yet. This is one, there's a damage meter inventory that Tosh has been working on. And again, we want a board member to know that it's been, you want to, okay, all right, great. So we got Susan and Roger on those. We're probably gonna have to, I don't know what we're gonna do, that new item, but hold off on that. Okay. So this is something you'll have to work with Dawn on the hydrants. I think there was 4, maybe 5 hydrants that were impacted. Yeah, yeah, and then the Tosh has been doing the meters. At that point, when they get uploaded to the FEMA portal, you'll know they're done, and you'll inform them that they've been uploaded. And that obligation has been met, right?
It'll be also an ongoing project. Yeah. Because of debris. And then we'll have to do a flush test at some point to test the infrastructure underneath the ground. And then also with the hydrants, once I get that information, I can go ahead and enter the information, create service orders, and then export those into an Excel spreadsheet as well within format as well.
And our goal is that we're kind of the intermediaries between operations and the administrative part of that. We're the ones that are making sure it's done. Okay, Don, give me this. Okay, Tosh, upload this, that kind of stuff that we're working there, that everybody knows what the left hand knows what the right hand's doing. Okay. Awesome. Emergency protection measures. I have no idea what that means. It's a FEMA action. I mean, it's a FEMA project.
So that's for everything that was done like during the fire and like directly after.
Okay.
So
then I have a couple of notes. Okay, I have a couple of notes on the volunteer labor and some of those other things. I'll add those in after the fact. I guess Bob and I can talk better unless you want to. You guys went on. Yeah. Okay. Bob and Susan, got it. All right. So it's a good one right now because there's no action. You should have taken that one, Roger. All right, debris removal for trees and debris removal for buildings. Bob and I have both of those because we've actually been in action already. The first one on removing trees, Bob signed a contract because he had authority before November 30th was up. He had the authority to act in the emergency. So he signed a contract with JNC Enterprises to remove the hazard trees for $25,000. That check was actually issued on September 15th. So Jared and Blake came over. What date was that they came over? Was that this week or last week?
It was this week.
Monday or Tuesday. Anyway, they came over and said, hey, what about that? You want us to start on those trees? And we couldn't figure out any reason why not say, yeah, go ahead. Got a signed contract with money's here, so let them go.
Do they have an end date to have that work completed?
No, but we can get one. Look at you.
Okay, so we know one date.
We have to, for Jared, I don't know, is different.
Yeah, no, this is just Jared. So since you're saying that, I'm gonna add that as an action item is to request when is this gonna be done? He's not gonna get paid till it gets done, so I'm sure he's gonna wanna do
But we
it.
gotta have it beginning when you start.
Start
And,
now.
hold on now.
They're keeping me honest. I love it.
Because that kind of style of really-
I get it. I get it. I get it. I like it. Okay, so the debris removal for the buildings and equipment and content. This was a little complicated and we actually spent an entire day here. There was an insurance adjuster, an independent insurance adjuster that came up that told us that they gave us $1.3 million from our insurance, right? And they said that the bid for Select Environmental to clean up the debris is 339,000. Yeah. And they said that they've already given us money for about 180,000 of that. So the only additional money that we'll get from the insurance is about 150,000. So that was complicated to look at that independent adjuster, the money, we're definitely under. I mean, we definitely, yeah, we're definitely under. And basically, after listening to the insurance, talking to Blake and Jared, knowing that we had an option of letting the state go in and do it. I've got a nephew who's a contractor out of Orville that's done a lot of the Paradise work. I called him and asked his advice. Because I know, I really trust him, right? And basically, after that conversation, it makes sense to go with Select Environmental. And those two guys both said that they could maybe rewrite their estimate and put more in we have $250,000 for debris removal, but they're only giving us the trucking and the hauling. They're not giving us the cleanup labor on that. So Jared and Blake felt that they could maybe rewrite their invoice a little bit so we can get a little bit more of that 250,000 insurance money. They take all of it. Exactly. And that's what Wayne told me. So both Bob and I, when we walked out of here, felt that it was probably wise to start with Select. Now, the other thing was we can't authorize this without a board motion on a regular meeting, make an agenda item and have,
Well, I
you know.
would suggest we check with the attorney first before we do that. Maybe it could be valid, that amount of money going out. Requests to bid.
Yeah, so let's also be careful on stating releasing certain conversations. It's just so that we don't get anyone be in trouble except with what's going on. So
Good point. I'm very open and transparent.
So when because when you're talking with your contract about what work is to be performed at the bids and the estimates, those kind of that's there. Yeah, right. You kind of take that as a written document and we've asked them for an adjustment or something else different. Then we will, as a board, you will act by motion or resolution to request some clarification.
Exactly. Which is what the action item is that this needs to be an agenda item.
Yeah.
So that we can vet it. Right.
At your next Thursday special meeting, now that you get your action plan set and going, then any changes or resolutions, motions that you need to make on a weekly basis, you will do that by motion next Thursday meeting or the following Thursday meeting, so that there's a clear path and separation from. It's hard in a small community to have exact separation when people are so intertwined with each other and what's happening. So we just have to be careful about things that we say, or if we allude to some sort of a decision that hasn't.
Yes, and that's true. You're absolutely right there. So it's coming up. Wouldn't it be at the general board meeting? I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. Wouldn't this come up like next Wednesday?
Typically on your regular meetings, you're not going to handles certain things, but.
I mean, we
you're
can,
right, if Kevin has put certain things on the third agenda. That she will make motion to approve or disapprove according to what the discussion, is, and what you decide to do at that meeting. So you're right. Some of them will come before you at a regular meeting and others will come before you at a special meeting when we're only talking about this document, your action plan and action to be taken.
okay. So, so this is not a decision that we're going to move forward with this. This is just background information on where we are with this. And Bob and I are gonna continue working on it. And then, but we're not gonna we go to the board, the entire board, to make a move on this before we do
And
that.
just cautiously so that we don't release.
Yep.
Information that we probably shouldn't release until we receive it.
Got it. And Jeff will keep us legal. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
552863 gazebo. I saw a document today come through. I didn't know much about the gazebo. I know it's a small project. Board members want to volunteer for this one? No, I'll take it. We'll just do it.
And that project is more than likely going to be removed as well. It depends. There's a threshold. I think it's about 3,500. So if we can't prove at least $3,500 for damages.
But that's not a FEMA deal, or-
That's a FEMA deal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. You got Susan and I got that one then. Perfect. Okay, the next one is the PG&E lawsuit. The action item is to send a meeting request to Veronica. So I think that,
Is it at?
oh, it's the next under non-FEMA. It's on the third page at the top. Oh, you know what? I updated this before the first version, the second version. It's not on the printed one.
Well, so that's okay. You can add it.
So I put that at the top because because we got a request from Veronica to meet and make sure that they're in on the ground phase of these projects and they know what's going on. So she was super responsive and sitting next door, and now you're seeing what we're working on. So perfect. I put Bob on this, but do one of you guys want to work with me on this?
Can you remind us of what we're doing?
No idea. I mean, probably just get advice from you guys, right?
Absolutely. So we understand that you guys are pursuing a FEMA claim, right? And so the district has insurance. So the claim process is to make up for the difference. If that makes sense. So we will be another. Fire.
And so, in the sense of, we understand there's a difference meeting the claim process with FEMA,
Right, but with the claim process through, PG, the idea that hopefully we can get you guys there sooner. So, ideally, like the district to be working with us and simultaneously to see if we can get you guys any type of funding or compensation for all the damages for the district more quickly.
And since Bob and I already met with one of the insurance companies, Bob's met with the firehouse. There's another insurance company, right?
We have got filter, which is water.
Right.
And the station. So the other is Allied World, which is very complicated. Allied World has sourced us out to another adjuster who has sourced us out to another adjuster.
And what is that credit for?
For the
Firehouse, that's the
I sent an email to the second adjuster. I copied you in that today and Bob and well. Has their phone number and information. I also left a message with them, and then I also called Allied World directly. They are in New York, so they close at 3 o'clock our time or 2 o'clock our time or what have you. But I like leave a message with them as well.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get some kind of.
And just to keep you up to date, just to let you know that, see, we, at first, we soon we have enough, we're still gonna fall very short of the entire insurance, even at 1.306 million. Because the estimates coming over the building, gonna be much more than we had anticipated.
Right.
And look at what it's gonna cost us to build it, and then the context of the cost. Two, then we're gonna fall way under it again, even at 306 million. So, it's good that, there will be possibly some other recourse to help out fund the difference. Those avenues are all short.
Did you do any breakout for the lawsuits? Or under this lawsuit, is it kind of like a lawsuit or to pick up the difference on any of these projects?
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously would also like make the district whole again with the claim process and make a lot of a certain amount of money as to every person that they help, with the district obviously it's a bit more of a special case, but yeah, they fall short, to keep up with the difference, but we're also taking into account all the damages because, FEMA is not insurance.
No, they're
No,
not.
they're not necessarily obligated.
Mhm.
So we're gonna try to
Right.
pick up the difference between whatever FEMA and ours.
Yeah, well, primarily.
But it's to cover all of the projects.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we'll have a project, it's gonna have something that's operational expenses.
Right.
The FEMA is really
Yeah.
concerned about something, and so you're taking loss in the community because of your income. And that is something that's substantial that you have to look at as a
I
report.
attended one of their meetings, yeah, and they kind of spent about an hour's worth describing what this process is. And it's everything above and beyond. So I think that it was smart to, for you to reach out and say, because we're all new board members. All of us except Bob are new board members, so we're coming in on this really green. And I think that what we'll be providing you is, what are the damages? What's the insurance covering? What's FEMA gonna help out with? And
But just to be clear here, FEMA specifically, right, they're under no obligation, same way insurances to compensate or to try to make up for the damage costs. And so from our perspective, if we can cut FEMA out entirely and get the district position that they needs in order to build the repair, then we're gonna go pursue all the damage costs, even without FEMA.
so with you, I feel like I can be really transparent, right? Because you're working for us.
There's no time.
We need like mediation process and receiving settlements. Very quickly.
Good.
Like other fires.
A year, 18 months,
Yeah.
2 years.
It's unnecessary to get a process. Anybody that says.
No, that would-
No,
Well, I think the way that I heard it described, there's 70,000 people that lived on the ridge in Paradise, right? There's,
About 80,000 structures.
yeah, yes. So there's a whole lot less in Greenville.
We're also.
And that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take this one up.
I'm gonna take this one and probably Bob, unless you wanna jump in on it with me, or, well, Bob and I are doing the insurance.
I know.
Well, I think we're all gonna need to keep our heads on it, right?
Eliminate Orange on a lot because he really does have more.
He's gonna be-
fire chief, all of that stuff.
You wanna,
No, I'm just.
three of us can't, meet, though.
As long as you all don't communicate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
on that Same topic.
Yeah.
Because the great form of the
Technically, you could all three be on it if,
I gotcha.
they communicated and then maybe you and Chrissy communicated.
No.
In terms of like a point person, you know, would be ideal.
Yeah,
And.
well, and we got these guys for that
They're
too.
gonna give us an education.
But also, you know, understanding the very details of the district's damage. And, you know, being able to understand, the breadth of the damage. So taking that into account, because obviously we have some of our own assessments, when we do go to PG&E and start to say that's.
Yeah.
How much, you know, basic evaluation of how much damage the district has incurred.
So just for you to know, and we're kind of getting in the weeds on this a little bit, but we had a general manager that is no longer. So that's why the board's taken more of an active role on each line item here, is because we're acting general manager until we can hire somebody that's gonna have their finger on the pulse of all this stuff. So that's where we are right now. All right, so it's gonna, your point of contact is gonna be me and Susan. And then we'll set up, you know, maybe you can pencil down.
Yeah, we could do like a training that's specifically assigned to this.
Yeah, and you can let us know what documents we need to start gathering up for you, for sure. All right.
Yeah, we probably have to put on that list.
Mhm. All right, next line item, Cal OES Form 130. Do you, Tosh, or?
So before you go on, Chrissy, you have you decided on the lawsuit issued to, it was you and who else? And Dorn.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a
Yeah, we
copy
will.
of that.
I know I just threw these three in here. I'm gonna move on in just a minute. But there is a form that Kevin sent me called a Cal OES Form 130. Have you heard about that?
What is it pertaining to?
I don't know.
Forms. It was that.
It was just like an email he fired over to me. So I'm gonna have to find it. I sent him an email already, so I'm just gonna keep my name on this one. I'll follow up and find out more.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't either. So I've also I inserted another one, is the insurance point of contact is gonna be Bob and I for now. That good?
Sorry, you've added that one.
I've added those three, yeah. Okay,
What's the other one that you added?
PDD lawsuit, the Cal OES 130, and the insurance.
I don't think we have the OES.
I have it on an email, but I asked Kevin, I'm going, what is this?
Yeah, if you could forward. that
I
to
will,
us.
yeah.
Insurance.
Insurance is,
About that?
yeah, so we had a meeting with the insurance folks. Tosh has been involved in a lot of that as well, because we knew nothing about it. Like, I had no idea who the companies were, how much we're covered for. There is a detailed independent insurance adjuster. We'll make sure that Potter Handy gets that. Here we go. There's a statement of loss on it if you want to kind of look at the insurance stuff.
your 130 form.
Yeah. You know what it's for?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we went through this with a fine tooth comb this week.
The designation.
And you can take a look at that if you want. The statement of loss shows what we're covered for, what we're not covered for. If you want to go over that in more detail, we can. Basically, like we got the information about the debris removal. Today, Bob got some more information about the firehouse, right? And what's covered. We got to check for 1.3 million. We're going to get maybe another 400,000. That's about it. So we're hugely underinsured. The independent adjuster was pretty good, and that document's in there as well. If you guys want copies of that, we can sure get that to you so you can peruse them. I think my notes on the insurance is that it's coming out to about $4 million, and we got 202 million short or something. What was it? Yeah, so if you look, let me see that.
If you look at the basic though, so if you look at any kind of mitigation, that would be above and beyond those costs. So like lots of the overall problem underlying the parts that weren't buried. Well, how do you want to put that back? How do you want to put that back? Money, with the same money, with the same exposure? You want to do it buried that whole time? You want to do it
Different
down?
mitigation.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have a mitigation portion that's
So,
gonna
so we're
raise
gonna go
those
into this in
costs.
more detail when we meet
Okay.
with the attorneys, right? Because they're gonna need to know every detail that's associated with this. I just had one meeting on this and I was going, holy crap, what this mean? This is the detail from the adjuster, you know, of his assessment.
So did he physically go?
It's an estimate.
So did he physically go?
He went to the water plant, and I'm sure he didn't walk the water line.
So where did he get his physical?
Probably from us. I mean,
Yep.
But I'll tell you with mitigation, and in our past experience, flood on mitigation was they had previously said like approved, gone ahead and said like approved across the creek and or a bridge across the creek, and they mitigated that again by the problem of a tree taking it out again by raising it up, making it stouter and going over. Weed forged plan for. So we forged ahead with the plan for a bigger bridge and a lot more clean. And then they shot it down. I would say be careful. So I would say be careful with FEMA and mitigation projects. Because sometimes it looks good going that direction, and you think you're going that direction, and even you're some of the engineering for it, or all of the engineering for it, and they go, just kidding. So.
So, so with you and I being on with the attorneys and Bob and I being on with the insurance, that's gonna be a pretty good blend. We'll make sure you get a summary. So you'll know, you'll have you'll know as much as we know. And I don't know much right now.
So Chrissy, for the insurance line item,
Yeah.
you were saying that you and Bob.
Okay, so now we're back to the printed document, which is the Greenville Pipeline Replacement Project. This was told to us by Dean Marsh at the last board meeting. It's a shovel-ready project. Those statements are coming straight out of that document he gave us.
This is the pre-fire, right?
This is non-fire.
Right.
What he said on this one was Ted submitted a pre-application for construction funding, was submitted to the State Water Resource Control Board, who responded favorably, suggesting we receive an invitation to make complete application. Grant was awarded, awaiting funding, engineering options. I don't even know. I haven't delved into this any more than that. It's not assigned to anybody. So anybody want to take this? All right.
Oh,
We got the Susan and Roger team. We like it.
that's on the Greenville Pipeline Replacement. Project.
Correct. So the Crescent Mills Water Treatment Plant Rehabilitation. Funded by SRF. Scope includes replacement of filtration equipment and controls. SEI is working on plans and specs. It's been on hold since the fire. You want Bob and I to take that one?
Sure.
Okay. Then the next one is the CRW application, which is preliminary engineering report to identify leaks in the sewer system. Application submitted and waiting funding.
Okay.
CRW. Yeah, so that's just gonna be following up on that, you know, probably with the attorney, the engineer, and Don.
So this is stuff that's by the fire, this stuff is
Pre-existing. This is the identified leaks in the sewer system.
Should have both now that you've got damage to your sewer connections.
we have to keep that separate.
Yeah.
you probably would expense wise, I'm not sure how you're gonna.
Operationally?
lay that out.
No, you can know unless you already have listed.
Yeah, and because the staff is short, probably gonna do a contract to have California Rural Water, somebody come and do smoke testing for you. Report generated.
That's all this is. That's the scope of this. It's just knowing,
Right.
identify leaks in the system. That's not repairing them.
And then guess what? Like, then we
Free
fired-
fire.
fired it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want- don't do it.
Sure, I was a big problem prior to, but
Sure.
I
Right.
they don't.
Yes, sir. Identify that was
Expired.
fired.
Well, you think we identify a lot, like cleaned up lot, that's gonna be.
Fired it.
Fired.
But
But if it's
the
house is
there.
still there.
Yeah.
So since Bob and I are on the short term, we could maybe take that one. Because it's not, it's just, the scope of that is just engineering report. Yeah, but if you look 2 line items down, you see the long-term repairs to the lift station. That's the one that I was gonna ask for your expertise on, the long-term fix. And that was something that Dean Marsh kind of brought up. It's like, hey, let's not have 3, let's have 1 and spend. Yeah. So the vision for that, I think, that's Susan's area of expertise anyway. So that was the one that I was saving you for. So you want to work with her on that? Bobby? Okay.
And which is this now?
That's the lift station long-term repairs.
Okay,
Then we'll go back to the
What about the
Irwin
Irwin grant?
grant. Yeah,
Who's on that?
we haven't decided yet.
Okay, back to the CRW application. Who's doing that one?
CRW application is Bob and Chrissy.
I'll do the urban grant.
You want to do the Irwin
So
grant?
what is there?
It's,
We've already funded.
Yeah.
Oh, that tank.
Yeah.
Because of the situation, they said, you might want to use that or whatever else.
so,
Integrated regional, water management plan.
I knew that.
yeah,
And there
so
will be some extra funds that they have set, we can get, that will come to an act total.
Maybe how much do we have on
It's
that?
probably about 460.
460,000.
We've been pre for about 350.
Okay, and then we talked about the lift station, long-term repairs. And then the next line item down is this was something that was just recommended by Kevin. If we get NST engineering in here for the fire station, he recommended that we definitely map our district boundaries and the parcels that we own. Maybe do that at the same time. So, all right. I'm gonna put Susan and Bob on that because you guys are gonna be working with them at the fire hall, so
Yeah.
I'll put you and Bob on that one. And then the next one, accounting, this is the finance committee that Roger's been trying to get out of.
I don't mind doing
Good.
it. You can pay for that.
All right,
But have Director Orange is okay with being on the finance?
no,
He
he's
really
not.
wanna
I'll put me on there with you, Susan.
be. Okay. Changing.
All right. Are you happy, Roger?
Yes.
Yes.
You're buying lunch next time too, buddy.
We can get Roger crash course on district economics. On the third, our accountant is coming to meet with the finance committee.
That'll work good. Yeah, you won't have to wait so late.
Yeah.
That way she can.
Another time.
You gotta meet guys at the-
And
What
I
day-
would say, can't stress you enough that the first project you need to do is create a
Yeah,
A what?
a bunch of documents, because copying the previous sentence not gonna make it.
Roger that.
You make
So
it
you
make-
have- It is tough because you do have an entire set of income, and then you've got a whole bunch more outgoing. And so when you file that, the way that it's happened in the past for a situation similar like this is we receive grants, we would put that in a category on itself for both its income and its expenses. But the way that we categorize the expenses is they would go with professional services for supplies or whatever else. So we would have to designate those as disaster related. And then move those to that expense bucket under those different subcategories. So, you have all the regular expense buckets, and you're use the same code to code those expenses. But it's gonna have to be pushed down into the disaster related overall code. And then you'll have some categories underneath that you can track.
Yeah, we are. We hire somebody. Look at the next line item.
I know.
Well, you do have an accountant that will help you
Yeah.
tremendously with the budget.
Good. Probably.
Well, it depends on those hours, because she's not cheap, so. Plan those hours accordingly, that you know, okay, here's our, what we need you for, and here's what
Yes. And it's-
Oh, the general manager position? Okay, perfect. So, so you want to put you and Bob on that then? Is that what you want? Okay.
That's just. part of the policy.
That's requirements, qualifications. Bob's got a couple of things. There's a letter in here from Christine Ryan. There's an option to maybe share with Chester, their general manager. There's a couple of things in the works on that. You guys can get up to speed and then brief us on it, because I don't know what the action item is.
There was also somebody who's been a previous general manager of a district before that was interested. And so you may want to take a look at what he has.
Bob's got some of that stuff in his hip pocket, so you and he can.
And I have it for, I think would be at the other. And.
So let's put this in as the staffing plan.
Let's
Just rename that, yeah. And manager, and then the other line item would be the office.
Just clarification.
office staffing, current and future.
Yes.
Got it. All right, so updated. All right, and then, so Susan and Bob have that. Logistics, this one, employee pay stubs. Dawn brought this up. The employees are requesting individual email with pay stubs. That's something, this is something like the office logistics. So you and I want to keep that. I think we talked about doing that before. Just to be a buffer and a filter for things like that that come up. Dawn asked, you know, we're just kind of doing things like that. Okay, so
It kind of.
it kind of does. It really does. Yeah.
Because send them to him now, so.
I know.
Okay, so if you want it to go directly to. That's
It's
an
one of those things I told him to time
It's
out.
an easy office function.
Explain to me how the current system works. please.
Before.
Pay stubs?
Pay stubs.
So, third party accountant sends them to the office manager. Office manager sends them via email to the employees.
Mm. You have automatic deposit.
Mhm.
Direct deposit.
Direct deposit.
And so since I consider the supervisor for our office staff, then I would be responsible for making sure those employees get their pay stubs.
Right.
And so then, because Don's the supervisor for his staff, I send him the pay stubs for his staff. And then he distributes. But I can distribute to everybody individually.
That's kind of what they were asking for.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, that's easy. The newsletter for billing.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody to finish that.
so I think you want to take that with me too? Okay. And then
Right.
not enough.
Hey, cookies right in front of you.
When did you take them, Sarah?
Yeah.
We have 6 minutes left.
Well, you still have a motion to make.
All right. So,
Because you've gone through your list and now you're gonna seek a motion and approval for all these decisions.
okay. So we have assigned 2 board members for each line item, and we actually have a total of, about 30 line items now, because I added about 3 in there on you. And there's 2 board members. We've agreed to that. Do you have a motion to accept these assignments? I'll make a motion that we accept these assignments for the board action items.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Yes, let's have it.
have it. Anything else? We ended 5 minutes early.
Look at that.
You may want to look at setting up your next special meeting.
So I envision, and tell me if I'm right on this, I envision going through these things really quickly. I mean, we could get this meeting down to 15, 20 minutes. And we could do it on Zoom.
So the 23rd is your next regular meeting, and like you said, some decisions will come before you at that regular meeting.
Mhm.
And then if you want to push out, then the next Thursday would be the 3rd of March.
I will be gone.
Okay,
I will be leaving the afternoon at 28 and not getting back until the 4th.
Okay, so if we can, so our, back up a little bit. I want this document available electronically. So Jeff's gonna put it on a Google thing where you can pull it up and look at it, right? If you want to make, if you have a meeting and you say, hey, I got something done, right? We had this meeting, here's my notes. You can call me, I can make those updates. We could have that discussion or whatever, and we can update this so that we can form each other as a board at the next board meeting action item.
and everybody can have the application.
Yeah,
I'm gonna share.
but both Bob and Susan don't, I mean, Roger and Susan don't want. I mean,
The 3rd would be your next special.
so we're having this meeting every 2 weeks?
Up to you.
Not a bad idea.
And we're having two meetings for 1 month.
Yes, regular meeting.
Yeah, this is, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So you would do the special on the 3rd, and then your normal regular meeting would fall on the 9th.
What we could discuss at the next board meeting, we could discuss having one board meeting a month and this meeting for the board more often. So that we can keep track of projects. How's that? You want to put that as an agenda item?
Big work.
Put it on your 23rd agenda.
Yeah.
Make a decision.
The 23rd is the action item meeting or regular board session?
It's a regular.
Regular board session. We'll discuss how often we want to meet.
Okay, that'd be good.
I think we could push back, go back to having, I think that was Bob's intent was, hey, I don't know what's going on, right? We weren't getting
Right.
updated with, statuses from Bob and Ted, and we're losing Ted, so, we need to get our arms around some of these projects,
We'll
so.
discuss that at the 20th.
We'll discuss it.
Because I know that sometimes you guys are wanting to attend the FEMA meetings, so there's also weekly FEMA meetings every Tuesday, so.
Yeah.
There's to a lot, can go into a lot.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Okay,
And you, Jeff, will ever do calendar with meetings?
Not until 23rd.
Right.
We'll cut them back for sure.
Okay, so, motion.
Yeah, motion.
Now you get a motion to adjourn if you're done.
Make a motion to adjourn this
I'll
meeting.
second.
All in favor? Meeting adjourned.
At 6 o'clock or 5:59.
Let's see nice out sometime to get
Let's do it.
Okay.
That's the first. No, this is the first. It's not-
Well, I've done this a long time and I was sure I could get it done. I was not gonna not get it done.
Okay, let me stop
This is what I
your
did for PG&E, yeah.
live feed.
Okay, we'll shut down the Zoom meeting then.